Hello and welcome back to another episode of Power Rangers lore. Today we're going to be discussing none other than Daggeron, the Solaris Knight, the wielder of the power of the sun. Who is Daggeron? Well, that's a very quick question. We can say that. He's the 6th Ranger and the Solar Knight. Now, what else besides that on him? There's a lot to be told. Let's start from the very beginning. Well, despite him having a humanoid appearance, guys, he is not actually human at all. He's actually one of the ancient mystics. And what exactly is an ancient mystic? That's a very good question. I didn't know this until I started doing more research. But they are magical beings that have some direct connection to the Mysticforce Power Rangers. They draw their powers from basically the ancient mystics themselves. Now, there's a possibility to hit the ancient mystic mode, like Lianbo and a few others. However, apparently, Daggeron is straight ancient mystic and was trained by Lianbo himself. That makes you wonder just how powerful Lianbo was. Now, in the training, he was also done by another apprentice, Kalendor. Kalendor and Daggeron had a friendship of sorts, but they didn't see Lianbo in the same eye. You see, Daggeron looked at him and said he was very valorous, he was the greatest knight of them, very honorable, he was the best there ever was. Kalendor didn't like any of those things. He goes, why are we playing fair in this game of war when we should just go right for the throat? And he never saw the exact reason why. But he was still good friends with Daggeron and Lianbo. However, when the war came, things did change, and Kalendor was tempted with the powers of darkness and decided to become a turncoat. Now, things would escalate from there as Kalendor would ambush none other than Daggeron himself and throw him into a cave and to do battle. Now, in that fight process of this cave, Daggeron would basically put a seal on the front saying, no evil could leave, no evil could enter, and we'd be stuck here together. Now, Kalendor would turn, in response, Daggeron into a frog, and basically he would be turned to stone the entire time there, being dead from that point out. And for 19 years, the two would lay in that tomb until Necroli would find them. Now, Necroli would go on a search for a new ally, a new weapon to use against the forces of evil. By evil, her old rival, Korag, the Night Wolf. Now, she didn't really necessarily need to take down Korag, but she needed something to hold over him. She knew he was powerful, and technically speaking, she doesn't have any magic, nor does she have any real skills rather than fighting, and her skills of fighting were near lacking compared to his. So she needed something to prove that she was worthy of taking the leadership position. Now, she would find this tomb, glowing, what is in there? I need to know what is in there entirely, and couldn't get in. Anything that was evil would be disintegrated or blasted back. So she was able to trick the Rangers into basically breaking the seal and going in themselves. By doing this, it broke the seal entirely when the Rangers go in, and they would find a frog that would attack Maddie of sorts, and she would freak out, setting it flying with a quick flick of her wrist, as well as a few other things going on, finding basically the corpse of Kalendor, as well as a mystical genie lamp. Now, they would rub the lamp later on and realize there's a genie inside and couldn't figure out what wish they wanted. That's kind of the whole point of the episode. Now, Maddie would be thrown down and almost killed later on until a frog would jump forward and attack the monster, and the monster would go, what the heck's going on? It's a frog. Like, freak out. It's on its face, and you throw it off. Now, when he threw it off, it had a magical aura about it that was able to quickly turn around and land perfectly fine. And, well, from there on out, Maddie looked at it and went, wow, you saved my life, as the other Rangers went to battle against this monster of the week. Now, as time went on, she looked at it and goes, thank you, I could kiss you, and proceeds to kiss the frog. As to why, I don't really know why she would kiss the frog, unless she goes, well, it's magical, maybe it'll be free like a prince. I don't know, hopefully. It'd be weird if I just kissed a frog for no other reason. Well, she kisses it and frees Daggeron from the mystical spell that basically kept him trapped there forever. Now, at the same time, Kalendor has revealed his treachery after being resurrected and freed, none other by the forces of darkness, and then attacking Udana and her longtime apprentice. Now, he was in the process of reading the book and learning all the ancient mystic secrets, and then Daggeron arrives and he's basically scared shitless and forced to retreat, wondering what's going to happen next. Now, this does set for Imperius to take over the secondary leader's position, and Daggeron to eventually for him to realize this and go, I need to come to blows against my old enemy. However, before that can happen, though, Daggeron reassumes his human form once more and basically undertakes the entire task of training the Rangers from here on out, knowing that Udana isn't always up to everything, and he, being a Ranger, would know more about certain things as well. Now, he uses magical powers and sets up different tests and getting the Rangers to work together or unlock their potential as time goes on. Now, he's a very strict teacher, and sometimes they don't see always eye to eye with him, and they kind of clash heads. But in the end, they realize that he only has what's best for them in heart. And then continuing on from there, they decide to work together and become greater Rangers because of it. Now, eventually, Daggeron is challenged by Imperius in a magical duel of sorts in the dimension of wandering souls to finish what they started 19 years ago, even though technically then it was finished because, Kalendor did die. But whatever. But it was a trap, and Imperius steals the Solar Streak Megazord's power in order to use a forbidden spell to create the Chimera, which seemingly destroys Daggeron pretty simply. However, Gingy, being as clever and as magically powerful as ever for a genie, saves Daggeron, and basically Daggeron comes riding in with a mystical unicorn called Brightstar to help the Rangers before setting things for good in a mystical battle with Imperius, in a bound battle to the death. Now, Imperius cheats and does wound Daggeron, but through his determination and honor, Daggeron is able to destroy his old enemy. Yay. Yeah, I'm just kidding. I'm sorry. I had to say that, sound like going like that. But the Super Sentai version of it was much more epic, in my opinion. There was a few other things, so if you ever get a chance, go look that episode up. It's pretty awesome. Now, things wouldn't end just there, though. Udana has word that Lindo might be alive and oversees the Ranger activities, basically, to Liembo entirely at that point. She leaves, and he goes to take his new charge of the Rangers. Now, he gains a new nemesis in the form of Megahorn, one of the 10 Terrors, basically almost killing him several times. And yeah, it was impressive. Like, Megahorn just wrecks him instantly. He's like going, what the heck is this? What is a 10 Terror? And just gets wrecked. However, in the end, he plays a key role in bringing down Megahorn, but it takes a long time. Now, in the final battle, Daggeron is killed by Optimus the Master when fighting in the Mystic Mother's dimension. Now, the Mystic Mother is none other than Rita Repulsa, but in her good magic form. She has basically revoked all forms of dark magic and is now only using good magic and leading this realm's magical powers. It was pretty impressive that she became the Mystic Mother. I don't know what qualifications she had besides that, since she was a villain for so long, but hey, good on her. However, he is later revived by Necroli at Lily's behest and helped the Mystic Rangers in destroying Optimus the Master once and for all. Now, Itasis then approached Daggeron seeking knowledge of this honor. What is honor? Because in the Forces of Darkness, Itasis was one of the 10 Terrors and has no idea what honor is. She knows loyalty to the Forces of Darkness and to the Master, but what is that compared to honor? Especially since the Master was willing to sacrifice and show no honor at all of his minions just to get more power. Now, he agrees to basically take her on and teach her what this honor is and go on from there. Now, he becomes a mystical master akin to that of the Snow Prince following events, but that's kind of it for the series of Mysticforce Power Rangers. However, in Super Mega Force, he does appear again, basically giving I forgot his name entirely. Orion, the access and the powers of the Sixth Ranger. He could basically multiple to Sixth Rangers, and he's one of them behind him and touching him from behind, going, "You got this, or you're the next Sixth Ranger." Now, he would also return in the final battle of the legendary Rangers against the Forces of Darkness of the Armada, and was seen in the background, but he has no talking scenes, and is just supposedly be a stunt double, not the actual character of Daggeron himself. In another pretty cool cameo, in Super Ninja Steel, Preston reads the Encyclopedia of Magic and Spells, and it contains a small bio of Chip Thorne, the Yellow Ranger from Mystic Force, and the other Mystic Force Rangers. Daggeron is mentioned as one of the magicians who defeated the Optimus the Master. Other than that, he's only ever seen one more time in Beast Morphers when the villains were looking to the past to revive somebody with the Reanimizer and come across Korag. However, they choose not to get Korag because, well, he's too honorable and not what they need. And continuing on from there, you never see currently up to any Mysticforce Ranger up to date at all right now. That is the Solaris Knight, the 6th Ranger and the Gold Ranger of the Mysticforce Power Rangers. I hope you guys enjoyed this video. If you don't know anything about this at all, the Ancient Mystic mode entirely, I didn't quite understand it when they found it on the show because it wasn't really fully explained at all. But it was very interesting that certain times, not the Rangers themselves, but their mentors had these different forms. And I really liked it. I really enjoyed it. It made it seem like not every monster is a monster. So keep that in mind when you guys look at this back again and rewatch that episode, because the mystic forms were really confusing at first. But if looking back and knowing this more information, it's pretty interesting about these ancient mystics and these magical forms you can unlock. Well, guys, I hope you enjoyed. Make sure to like, comment, and subscribe down below. And I'll see you next time in another episode of Power Rangers Lore. May the power protect you always.